Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaskaram. On behalf of the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this series of 4 webinars on Mantra in Yoga, brought to you by Shri S. Sridharan, a senior mentor at the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. We are very happy to be a part of this initiative from the Ministry of Ayush in celebration of International Day of Yoga under the theme Be with Yoga, Be at Home, where 5 leading yoga institutes across India are presenting a series of lectures every day. While asana, pranayama, dhyanam are among the most popularly used tools of yoga, the tradition of Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram also for many decades now has very successfully integrated the use of chanting, be it Vedic mantras, stotras, shlokas, or even other chants that can be designed to suit the specific beliefs of the practitioner. Mantra in and of themselves are extremely potent, and there are a lot of niyamas in the use of mantra, in whether it is in japa or homa or in puja. But there are ways also of adapting these mantras to be used as part of yoga practices. Why mantras, why chanting specifically can be integrated is that it offers a variety of benefits to the practitioners at multiple levels. At the level of practice itself, the use of simple sounds and chants can increase the focus and the ability of the mind to pay attention to the sequence, thereby enhancing the feeling of being present in doing an asana. From the perspective of breath, we have found that the use of chants can serve significantly to lengthen the breath, especially the exhalation, using which we can also work on lengthening the inhalation. From a cognitive perspective, there are numerous studies available to show us how the use of mantras, the continuous recitation of mantras, can very positively enhance cognitive skills as well. From an emotional perspective, since most of the mantras have to do with health, healing, removal of fear, and protection, among other things, naturally, these create a shield of protection, a shield of great positivity and hope around the ones who chant the mantra. And from an emotional perspective, the mantra itself can be a way of letting out much that is suppressed. Apart from all this, the vibrationary nature of mantras themselves has been proven to have far-reaching effects at a global, at an environmental level, especially when many people come together in chanting the mantra. This is the spirit behind collective chanting of mantra. Given that mantras can be used in so many diverse ways, this series specifically focuses on how mantra or certain adapted chants can be used within the framework of yoga, using asana, pranayama, and dhyanam as the core tools of yoga. This 4-part series commences today with an introduction to mantra and to mantra yoga, drawing references from the Yoga Sutra, where Patanjali very clearly tells us that the means of connecting to Ishvara is through the pranava, the conscious japa of the pranava, understanding and being aware of its meaning. Therein lies our reference from a textual perspective, validating the use of mantra as a tool in yoga sadhana. This session and all the sessions to follow are anchored by Shri S. Sridharan. Let me introduce him to you very briefly. Shri S. Sridharan is among the senior most teachers, mentors, and therapy consultants at the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, Chennai. After a very successful career in merchant banking in a public sector bank for many years, for many decades in fact, he became a student of Sri T.K.V. Desikachar in the 1980s and had the fortune of studying directly under this renowned master for over 3 decades. Sri S. Sridharan held the position of managing trustee of the K1 for about 8 years from 2002, after which he continues to be a huge pillar of support for all the faculty members of the K1. He has represented the K1 at numerous conferences, seminars, etc. His teaching career includes consultations as well as classes of yoga for therapy, classroom teaching of all aspects of yoga for both national and international students in India and abroad. From 2010 to 2015, he served as member of the governing council of the Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, the apex body for yoga of the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. He represents K1 in the Indian Yoga Association as one of the founding members and is also a lifetime member of the Indian Yoga Association. Mr. Sridharan is also on the board of the technical committee of the Yoga Certification Board set up by the Ministry of Ayush, which is active in bringing certification for yoga teachers. He chairs the subcommittee constituted to draft a syllabus for yoga therapy certification and has served as the yoga expert in the WHO technical review meeting for developing the M-Yoga mobile application. He was also awarded the title Dronacharya, a very prestigious honor bestowed upon him by the Rotary Club of Madras East. Widely travelled, he represents K1 and India in various world yoga festivals in different countries. We are very happy to present before you Sri S. Sridharan in these series of 4 webinars, taking you through the nuances of mantra yoga and how mantra can be integrated into asana, pranayama and dhyana.
Namaskaram. Welcome to session 1 of Mantra Yoga, where I propose to deal with an introduction to mantras. I'll start with a prayer to our teachers. Shri Krishna Vagisha Yatishwarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashyasaram Srinot Narankendra Yatau Samarpitasvam Shri Krishna Mariyan Guruvariyamide Virodhe Kartikeya Mase Shatatara Krutodayam Yogacharyam Krishna Mariam Guruvaryamaham Bhade Krishna Suri Daya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathāryam Vandegam Yoga Deshikam Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hare Om Sagana Bhavatu Saganau Bhunaktu Sagaviryam Karavavagai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavagai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, mantra yoga can also be called as mantras in yoga. Yoga part we know. We are talking about the practical Ashtanga yoga part, in which we have yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the 8 angas, of which we popularly see in practice asana, pranayama and dhyana. The Yama Niyama part is also very important. The Yama part is subdivided as Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. In the Niyama part, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapaha, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana. In fact, the word Swadhyaya in the Niyama part of the Ashtanga Yoga has a relevance here. Swadhyaya word means, Swa means self, Adhyaya means study. Study by the self, of the self, about the self. Self here means Atma, the soul. And our teacher, Sri T. Krishnamacharya, who was totally trained in the Vedic system and has mastered the Vedas completely in all segments of it, generally would say Swadhyaya means Swachchaha Adhyayanam, that is chanting the Vedic part, learning and chanting the Vedic part relating to the tradition in which a student belongs to, Shaka branch. So at the level of Swadhyaya itself, we have a reference to mantra. A second most important reference about mantra in yoga comes in the Yoga Sutra, in the first sutra of 4th chapter known as Kaivalyapada. Janma Oshadhi Mantra Tapaha Samadhijaha Siddhayaha. This is the sutra. The essential meaning of this sutra is Siddhayaha means siddhis, achievements. These achievements were stated in the 3rd chapter called Vibhuti-pada. How many achievements are stated there? That is, a perfected person who has perfected himself through yoga and has reached the state of samadhi and putting together dharana, dhyana, samadhi as samyama as a tool and applies on various subjects, objects, and attains complete control over them. That is siddhis. There are various there. All these siddhis can be achieved through janma, by birth. In this case, the birth, according to commentators, is this particular person can be called as a yogi, but he is a born yogi, called also Yoga Bhrashta in Bhagavad Gita. He has done a lot in the previous birth, so he achieves the siddhis by birth, on birth itself. Oshadhi, by incantations, herbal incantations, which is also possible according to the sutra. Janma Oshadhi Mantra, 3rd. Mantras or Vedic mantras, recitations, use of the mantras can also give siddhis. Tapaha, austerities, can also give the siddhis. Samadhi is the Ashtanga Yoga Marga, which I just now told you. And the commentators see that even though there are 5, Janma, Oshati, Mantra, Tapa, Samadhija, independent, that siddhis which are achieved through samadhis are preferred, and they can also be continuous. They will be stable and they can be taught to others also. So a person who has reached these siddhis through samadhi is considered a bit superior in this category. Now let us come to mantra. So the commentator, chief commentator Vyasa says, when one recites or masters the mantras, there are various siddhis which were stated in the third chapter. All are possible to be achieved by the person. Particularly, he talks about Agasa Gamanam, that is flying in the air. And Vyasa, the commentator, also talks about Ashtama Siddhis, Anima, Garima, Mahima, that is becoming very, very small like atom, becoming very huge, and becoming very light, becoming very heavy, etc. Now, here I referred this because how mantra and yoga are related at the level of the Yoga Sutra itself. Now let us come to the first chapter of the Yoga Sutra. First chapter is Samadhi Pada. Let us come to the Samadhi Pada, in which there is a sutra called Ishvara Pranidhanatva. It talks about the tool called Ishvara Pranidhana, total surrender to Ishvara. Who is this Ishvara is stated there as Sayesha Purveshamapi Guruhu Kalena Anavachetat. He is the teacher foremost among the teachers, beyond time. Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha. Apart from two other characteristics, it talks about Klesha Karma Vipaka Ashiyehi Aparamrishta Purusha Vishesha Ishvara. This is a Vishesha Purusha, a special soul, supreme being, who is beyond the cycle of birth and death, because he is not subject to the kleshas. Also, he is the source of all knowledge. Tatra Niratishayam Sarvajya Bijam. Now, this supreme being, Ishvara, who is the foremost teacher, how he can be, Pranidhana can be done. Pranidhana means total surrender. Total surrender, according to how it should be done, is given by Patanjali in the Yoga Sutra itself. He says, Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha, the way in which this Ishvara is to be addressed is Pranava. Pranava what? Pranava means, generally in Sanskrit the word Pranava means by which somebody is addressed. Simple meaning. We all have names. So the name for us is our Pranava, by which we are addressed. But the interior meaning, there are special meanings for words, and they are called technical words. Pranava is one such technical word. Pranava means Om. In fact, the chief commentators, other commentators here talk about Om, including our teacher Krishnamacharya. Now, Om, this is supposed to be the primordial sound, Om, and this is the mantra. So, Pranava here means Om. That is how the Supreme Being is addressed. So, the mantra is talked about in this. Now, this Pranava mantra, Om, how it should be used? It is to be used as Tad Japaha Tadartha Bhavanam. It is to be used by way of Japa. Japa is a word which contains two letters, Japa. Ja removes the janma, pa removes the papa. That is, when someone does the practice of japa properly, it removes the cycle of birth and death, janma, and also removes papas completely. In fact, papas are also responsible for the janma. Both together are removed. That japaha, that pranava japa, is recommended and is considered as the Ishvara Pranidhana. Tadartha Bhavanam. Japa generally, technically, the way in which japa is done is to repeat a mantra again and again. Repeat a syllable. For example, if we take Om, 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 this is called a japa. This japa can be done in 3 ways. One is Uchchai, like I did now, Upamsu, lip movement, Manasika, by the mind. No external sound will be heard, not even the lip movement. Manasika is considered to be the supreme in the 3, superior in the 3. Now, Artha Bhavana. Artha is meaning. Here the meaning is, I am addressing that Supreme Being by the word Om, who has the following characteristics. So this is to be again and again reflected upon. I submit myself to the Supreme Being. Now, having stated, it is there after all in the books. Can we take the Om and start reciting immediately? According to text, the ancient teachers, it is any mantra has to be received from a teacher. So, even if it is Om, which is a well-known mantra, it has to be received only from a teacher. What is the role of a teacher? So yoga fully, if you take any text on yoga, it talks about the role of a teacher, very important. In fact, Hatha Yoga Pratipika talks very highly about the teacher. Atasane dhride yogi vashihita mita asanaha guru upadishta margena. Any tradition has to go through a list of gurus. That is why yoga is learnt in parampara. When it is learnt in parampara, the concept of passing on the mantra through a teacher to student automatically takes place. The teacher simply not only gives the student yoga practice, he will also include the mantra, but he knows what mantra is suitable for the student. So, mantra ought to be taken, learnt, initiated from a teacher. So the link between the mantra and yoga we saw. The most important part is, it is through a japa. Japa is a type of meditation. It is a type of meditation. In the japa meditation, any mantra is generally used. Here the recommended is pranava, which is Om. But the teacher will give, depending on the student's background, adhikara we call. Now let us come to mantras. Let us see what mantras mean, what are they, where are they found, in what form. Mantra is a Sanskrit word which has 2 parts. Mantra. Man here represents mind. Mananat. The mind is having a role here. It is through a repetition at the level of the mind. Mananat. When we said japa, I told you, the superior part of the japa is to recite mentally. That is manana. Tad japaha. Tad artha bhavana is also at the level of the mind. So when one repeats, then that which when repeated by someone, tarayate, tara represents protection. It protects. Mananat trayate iti mantra. This is one of the definitions for the word mantra. That which protects one who reflects, who mentally recites. Okay then, as I told you, you cannot randomly take a mantra and start reciting it mentally, and it will not give the desired effect, they say. We need to go through a teacher only. In fact, the saying goes like this: Gurum prakashayet dhiman mantram yatnena kopayet. You can talk about a teacher through any media in public, but when it comes to sharing the mantra that you have received from your teacher, it should be kept a secret. The idea is secrecy here means the idea of having got it personally, and it is to be kept by the student for the purposes of practice. There are a lot of things which are highly personal in our life. We don't share everything with all the people. We use them and experience them and attain certain benefits out of it. Mantra is one such. Now, having told what is the definition of mantra, the word meaning, where are they found? They are found in the Vedas. The Vedas is the ancient collection of knowledge, and it contains everything that one must know in life, the practices for living a good, healthy, prosperous, happy life, as well as to find out who we are, from where we have come. Is there anything other than the mind and the body? What is this creation? How this creation has come? How to get rid of dukkha completely? They provide an answer to everything. It provides an answer to everything. It provides answers which cannot be seen directly by us. There are answers. If we have an issue, we go to a doctor, we go to someone else and find an answer. And it can be available by way of our own seeing, feeling. But in the case of certain questions like God, etc., we need only a pramana, authoritative text. They are the Vedas. So the way we understand an object, three ways in which we can understand, which Yoga Sutra has approves. Pratyaksha, straight seeing, as you are seeing me even through television, you have a vision, you are able to see, you are able to hear. This is called a pratyaksha. Anumana. Anumana is you are seeing something and only a part of it, the balance part, you are going to guess. You are going to make a guess out of what should be that. They generally give an example of a smoke and a fire. So pratyaksha, direct perception through the senses. Anumana, inference. There are a lot of subsections in inference, anumana. The last is agama. Agama means that which cannot be directly perceived by the senses. That which cannot be inferred also has to be learnt, understood only through pramana. In modern day life, in our general life also, if we are not able to guess or directly see, we also rely on the words of reliable persons, even scientific inventions, etc. So, Vedas are called pramana. They are limitless, but the great sage Vyasa put them into four parts: Rud, Ketus, Sama and Atharva. It is also divided into two subsegments called Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. So, the Vedas themselves are full of mantras only. And the Veda is in a particular way. It is later became known as Sanskritam, Sanskrit, but scholars and teachers say the Vedic language itself is different. The reason is the entire Vedas have to be recited only, and they are in both prose and poetical form, but they have a meter, a particular meter. I did one small recitation, Om Saganavatu Saganau Bhunaktu Sagaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Then it is called Om Shanti 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 because they are called Shanti Mantras part. This actually talks about we have two teacher and a student praying together. So these mantras or recited with an intonation. In fact, the right pronunciation, the right intonation is important. They are found in Vedas itself. They say, Shiksham Vyakyashyamaha Varnaswaraha Matra Balam Samasantanam. Varna, the way in which a letter is pronounced, Ra, Ra, Gha, Gha, like that. They should be properly pronounced. Swara, I just made a demo of a swara with, there are 3 swaras. And sometimes it will go to the 4th one. Matra, the time taken for every letter. Bhalam, a particular force used. Dha, da, dha, like that. Sama, there should be a continuity. If you can see, there will be a musical like one. Santana talks about continuity. Sama talks about the musical aspect. Because there is swaras there. Santana talks about proper continuity. With these characteristics only, one should properly chant. Mantras, which are very numerous, they are found in the Vedas, and we can call them as Vaidika mantras. The entire Vedas are mantras. So if you take passages from the Vedas, particularly in the Karma Kanda part, I told you, they are used for various rituals. But in the angle of yoga, a large amount of the parts of the Vedic mantras help in healing. Yogacharya Krishnamacharya very strongly recommends use of mantras properly by the right person for healing purposes. So passages from the Vedas are taken and they are recited. Today, after this first part lecture, there will be a demo in which there will be 2 parts. In the second part, some mantras will be recited where you can just sit, close the eyes and hear the mantra itself. And you can see that the mantra on hearing itself will give you a relief. It will heal the body, it will heal the mind, it will give Shanti. In fact, the Shanti mantras are also like that. That is why they are called Shanti mantras. So, the first way of use of mantras, which is a Swadhyaya part. In fact, when it comes to Kriya Yoga, it says Tapaswadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Kriya Yogaha Samadhi Bhavanarthaha Klesha Tanukaranarthasya. So, Samadhi Bhavana will come. Kleshas will come down if one recites Vedic mantras properly and hears itself. Recitation, when we have been trained, just hearing them will give the same relief. I have known where my teacher always used to take me and make me chant along with him to people who are sick. And I have found sick people getting relief immediately. Even fevers used to go away. Now, this is one part. The second is, from the Vedas, smaller mantras are taken. It can be in the form of something relating to a particular devata like Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, Lakshmi, Narayana, Durga. And there are passages called Suktas which can be heard, and smaller mantras are also there. Smaller means the mantras will be there. There are particular mantras, and one such mantra is the Gayatri mantra, which all of us know. Tatsaviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo na prachodayate. This is a mantra used in japa. Om is also added. There are such Gayatri mantras, a few of them found in the Vedas. And these are all Vaidika mantras. In Vaidika mantra, we have got Devata based mantras. The Gayatri mantra generally is addressed to the sun, asking us to guide us in the right direction at the mind level. Please direct us towards the right place, right things to be done, towards righteousness. That let me meditate on the effulgence of the Supreme Being in the sun who will kindle our intellect. This is the meaning, essential meaning. This is to be recited only after getting initiated, and there are a lot of procedures also for this. There are some procedures. When we are going into the last segment of this series of lectures on dhyana, use of mantra in dhyana, I will give you some idea about use of nyasas which are all there for mantras. So these mantras are important components of a rishi, chandas and devata. In the case of Gayatri, called Mahagayatri, the rishi is Vishwamitra, the chandas is Gayatri itself, and devata is Savita, who is the sun, the Supreme Being in the sun. It is addressed to sun. So mantras are found in the Vedas. In fact, great teachers, acharyas, can also have the ability to coin. I have known that Yogacharya, Krishnamacharya used to coin, he will mantra, and he will say, he will ask the student to come after some time, and then he will take this mantra. And the person who gives mantra must have been himself or herself initiated properly and should also have recited and achieved certain experiential things out of it. They are called mantra drashta, devata. In fact, Yoga Sutra says, Swadhyayat ishta devata samprayogaha. Samprayogaha. They are united with the ishta devata. That type of an achievement would be essential for someone to initiate the other person. Now, the mantras I told you can be heard, which you can do in the second part. In the first part of the demo, the practical, there is one way of using the mantras which Yogacharya, Krishnamacharya has done. This is done particularly for youngsters, where as someone recites the mantras, the practitioner will be practicing series of postures, particularly vinyasa kramas, like Surya Namaskara or vinyasa krama relating to certain Trikonasana, Vajrasana, vinyasa krama. Vinyasa krama is a series of postures built. As they move, there will not be a synchronization directly, but the mantra will be recited, the person will hear and continue. The reason here is, as one is practicing, the mind will move away into various directions. It may not give the right result of an asana practice. It will become simply like a physical exercise. To avoid that, one is also supposed, according to Yoga Sutra, prayatna shaitilya ananta samapattibyam. Ananta samapattibyam, samapatti, samadhi, ananta, endless. Put your mind on. So how to put the mind on? The recitation as you hear will get you to the ananta samapatti, to take your mind, to fix your mind on the Supreme. So one will hear that. So the first part of the demo, which we are going to see now, part 1, will have mantras which will be recited, Surya mantra, Arogya mantra. All those mantras will be recited, and you can see a demo of someone doing a vinyasa kramas. You are also welcome if you have been doing yogasana, you can just do the vinyasas and as you are hearing the mantra. Then part 2 is where one will have to sit down, close the eyes and just hear the mantra Shravanam, and that will give you a great relief. That's also a part of meditation, type of meditation in yoga. With this I end this session, and I'll meet you in the second session where I will be talking on the use of mantras in asana. Thank you. I will end with a mantra which requests or wants the gods to bestow us with everything auspicious. Om भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यजेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
आयुर्धेहि ॐ प्राणन्धेहि ॐ अपानन्धेहि ॐ व्यानन्धेहि ॐ चक्षुर्धेहि ॐ श्रोत्रन्धेहि ॐ मनोधेहि ॐ वाचन्धेहि ॐ आत्मानन्धेहि ॐ प्रतिष्ठान्धेहि ॐ मान्धेहि ॐ मयि धेहि ॐ ह्रां उद्यन्नद्यमित्रमहः ॐ ह्रीं आरोहन्नुत्तरान्दिवम् ॐ ह्रूं हृद्रोगं मम सूर्या ॐ ह्रां हरिमाणञ्च नाशय ॐ ह्रौं शुकेषु मे हरिमाणम् ॐ ह्रः रोपणाकासु दध्मसि ॐ ह्रां अथो हारिद्रवेषु मे ॐ ह्रीं हरिमाणन्निदध्मसि ॐ ह्रूं उदगादयमादित्यः ॐ ह्रां विश्वेन सहसा सह ॐ ह्रौं द्विषन्तं मम रन्धयन् ॐ ह्रः मो अहं द्विषतो रथम् ॐ अग्ने तेजस्वी त्वं देवेषु भूयास्तेजस्वन्तं मामायुष्मन्तं वर्चस्वन्तं मनुष्येषु कुरु दीक्षायै च त्वा तपसश्च तेजसे जुहोमि तेजो विदसि तेजो माहासीन्माहं तेजो हासिषं मान् तेजो हासीदिन्द्रौजस्विन्नोजस्वी त्वं देवेषु भूया ओजस्वन्तं मामायुष्मन्तं वर्चस्वन्तं मनुष्येषु कुरु ब्रह्मणश्च त्वा क्षत्रस्य च ओजसे जुहोम्यो जो विदस्योजो मामा हासीन्माहमोजो हासिषम्मा मामोजो हासीत् सूर्यभ्राजस्विन्भ्राजस्वी त्वं देवेषु भूया भ्राजस्वन्तं मायुष्मन्तं वर्चस्वन्तं मनुष्येषु कुरु वायोश्चत्वापाञ्च भ्राजसे जुहोमि सुवर्विदसि सुवर्माहासीन्माहगुं सुवर्हासिषम्मा मागुं सुवर्हासीन्मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मय्यग्नस्तेजो दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयीन्द्र इन्द्रियं दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्यो भ्राजो दधातु। ॐ अग्ने तेजस्विन् तेजस्विन् तेजस्वी तेजस्वी त्वं त्वं देवेषु देवेषु भूयाः भूयास्तेजस्वन्तं तेजस्वन्तं माम् आयुष्मन्तम् आयुष्मन्तं वर्चस्वन्तं वर्चस्वन्तं मनुष्येषु कुरु कुरु दीक्षायै दीक्षायै च त्वा तपसः तपसश्च च तेजसे तेजसे जुहोमि जुहोमि तेजोवित् तेजोविदसि तेजोविदिति तेजः वित् असि तेजः तेजो माहासीत् माहम् अहं तेजः तेजो हासिषं मां तेजः तेजो हासीत् इन्द्रौजस्विन् ओजस्वी त्वं देवेषु भूयाः भूया ओजस्वन्तं माम् आयुष्मन्तं वर्चस्वन्तं मनुष्येषु कुरु ब्रह्मणश्च त्वा क्षत्रस्य चौजसे ओजसे जुहोम्योजोवित् ओजोविदसि ओजोविदित्योजः वित् अस्योजः ओजो माहासीत् माहम् अहमोजः ओजो हासिषं मामोजः ओजो हासीत् सूर्यभ्राजस्विन् भ्राजस्वी त्वं देवेषु भूया भ्राजस्वन्तं माम् आयुष्मन्तम् आयुष्मन्तं वर्चस्वन्तं वर्चस्वन्तं मनुष्येषु मनुष्येषु कुरु कुरु वायोः वायोश्च त्वापाम् अपाञ्च च भ्राजसे भ्राजसे जुहोमि जुहोमि सोवर्वित् सोवर्विदसि सोवर्विदिति सुवः वित् असि सुवः सुवर्मा मा मा माहासीत् आसीन्मा माहम् अहगुं सुवः सुवर्हासिषम् आसिषं मा मां मागुं सुवः सुवर्हासीत् आसीन्मयि मयि मेधां मेधां मयि प्रजां प्रजां मयि प्रजामिति प्रजां मय्यग्निः अग्नस्तेजः तेजो दधातु दधातु मयि मयि मेधां मेधां मयि प्रजां प्रजां मयि प्रजामिति प्रजां मयीन्द्रः इन्द्रियम् इन्द्रियं दधातु दधातु मयि मयि मेधां मेधां मयि प्रजां प्रजां मयि प्रजामिति प्रजां मयि सूर्यः सूर्यो भ्राजः भ्राजो दधातु दधात्विति दधातु ॐ योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति योऽग्निरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अग्नेरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति। ॐ अन्नं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् अन्नाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते अन्नेन जातानि जीवन्ति अन्नं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपो तप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा प्राणो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् प्राणाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते प्राणेन जातानि जीवन्ति प्राणं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपो तप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा मनो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् मनसो ह्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते मनसा जातानि जीवन्ति मनः प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा विज्ञानं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् विज्ञानाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते विज्ञानेन जातानि जीवन्ति विज्ञानं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा आनन्दो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् आनन्दाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते आनन्देन जातानि जीवन्ति आनन्दं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति सैषा भार्गवी वारुणी विद्या परमे व्योमन् प्रतिष्ठिता य एवं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेना महान् कीर्त्या योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति योऽग्निरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अग्निरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायुरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायुरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति। ॐ अन्नं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् अन्नाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते अन्नेन जातानि जीवन्ति अन्नं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा प्राणो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् प्राणाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते प्राणेन जातानि जीवन्ति प्राणं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा मनो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् मनसो ह्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते मनसा जातानि जीवन्ति मनः प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा विज्ञानं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् विज्ञानाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते विज्ञानेन जातानि जीवन्ति विज्ञानं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा आनन्दो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् आनन्दाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते आनन्देन जातानि जीवन्ति आनन्दं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति सैषा भार्गवी वारुणी विद्या परमे व्योमन् प्रतिष्ठिता य एवं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेना महान् कीर्त्या।
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing with us this broad introduction to mantra and how it has a role to play in practices of yoga. We look forward to listening further about the integration of mantra in asana, pranayama, and dhyana in the sessions to follow. Thank you very much.